I have a dream that with one click, I can deploy a wireless network across thousands of access points in my enterprise environment. Oh wait, actually we can already do that. By the time we're done here, we will configure common wireless LAN features like interfaces, wireless LANs, security, and quality of service profiles. So, I would be remiss to not show you what happened after the last video where we were working on the wireless LAN controller. We got it configured through the console port and then bam, it rebooted after the initial setup wizard. And here we are. I want to show you, before we jump into the GUI, which is where everybody lives in the controller world, what it looks like when you log in, because a lot of people are expecting the iOS and it's not that way. I mean, it's kind of that way, but you can see we're in this Cisco controller mode with a little right angle caret. Hit the question mark and you kind of have a very limited set of commands. For instance, the one I'll show you right now is show sysinfo, which shows the information about this, and we can see it reflected based on the configuration that I just did. I've got system name, Jeremy Wireless LAN Controller. There's the IP address that I set during the configuration. It's been running. We just finished the last video 3 minutes, 31 seconds ago when this thing rebooted, and now it's all set to go. So that being said, we can now open a web browser. I'll just grab Firefox right here, and I'll go to 10.16.0.5, which is the IP address we set up just a moment ago, and you can see the interface changes to Cisco Wireless LAN Controller. Side note, Cisco is amazing at creating command line interfaces. Not very good at all at creating graphic interfaces. So if you're expecting something like, wow, that's awesome, wrong vendor. So I'm going to log in here and I'm going to do admin Cisco as the password. That's what we set during the configuration. And you can, now to Cisco's credit, the software that's on this wireless LAN controller is old. It still looks the same, but I got to give them some credit, right? It's old. They at least, I think it's now at least a little more gradient teal in the new version. So you can see right here kind of a graphic interface view. I love how the little dots almost align, but not really with the background dots. But I can see that port 1 is actually green right there. Now again, the GUI doesn't matter. It's the functionality that it provides. First thing worth noting is I see 6 access points are supported on this controller. And as a matter of fact, it has found 2 of them. I wonder where those are. Oh, wait. Right there. The 2 that are plugged into the same switch and are assigned to the same VLAN as that wireless LAN controller. So it's recognized them. And I can actually shoot over here to the wireless and I can see the access points. Look at this. All access points right there. Oh, look at that. Air AP, LAP, that's the lightweight access point, 1142, and blah, blah, blah. That's just the model number that it is. These guys have been running for about 4 hours, which is about when I flipped the power switch on my stack of equipment over there. And they've now checked in and are registered. Now, I didn't have to do it. I showed you in the last video the startup process that I went through with the controller, right? That's it. There was nothing more that I did. I plugged in the... Okay. I'll confess. It's with the wireless access points, but when I got them off of my eBay shipping box, right, I plugged them in and held in the little button on the back so that it did a factory reset, but that's it. I mean, there's nothing else I'm not showing you right there. Those wireless access points came in, registered, they're like, hey, reporting for duty. And I'm going to say, welcome, wireless access points. I will absolutely use you. So the first thing I want to show you is how do you get this thing going from an interface perspective? That is, we're not going to go in. I'm using, so let me preface this. There is full-on wireless LAN controller configuration training out there. And so at the CCNA level, at the ground level, Cisco just wanted you to be familiar so that when you get in here, you're not like, oh, what's going on? You can see this interface. You can kind of have a good idea of the direction to go, but know that there are literally thousands of options inside of this controller, and I'm going to give you the high-level view to get us going. The reason I'm saying that is because you can actually go in here and set up full-on tagged interfaces, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and I'll show you how to do it. So, for example, let's just say I wanted to set up a tagged interface for our environment. So let's just say VLAN 30. You know, that's my client VLAN right there in Arizona. Let's say I wanted to come in here and say, okay, this is my client's and I'll put VLAN 30 right after there, and I would say, VLAN 30 is the VLAN that I'm going to use. That's where I would say, okay, I'm going to assign this to port number 1, or if I had a lag port configured on this controller where it's binding multiple interfaces together, I would have a virtual port number I'd give it. VLAN, I'd give it an IP address within that VLAN. Let's just say 10.16. Let's just say 4.50. 255, or 254.0. Gateway 10.16.4.1. You give it the DHCP server that it can use for relay if that's what you're going to do, and hit apply. It's saying, hey, warning, we may lose connectivity when we're setting this up. And just like that, I've created my first virtual interface. Now, what's that for? When you go in and set up your wireless network. So remember, the end goal is that we have wireless... My wife just brought me a pumpkin. It's Thanksgiving tomorrow, and I'm recording, and she's like, I baked you a cake. And so literally while I was recording a moment ago, she came in. I'm like, I'm kind of waving like I'm talking, and she slid a pumpkin right there. So what's that interface for? It is for assigning to the wireless network. So, okay, best way. Proof is in the pudding. Let's do it. So let's say we want to create a wireless network, right? You can see right here, it has the network. That was the one when we went through the setup wizard, the command line, out-of-box experience. When we factory defaulted the controller, it asked us, what network do you want to create? And I would say, yeah, that's great and all, but, I don't want the network. Let's create a new one. I let go. I have pumpkin stuck in my teeth now. So I'm going to say wireless LAN. Let's just call it Network Ninja, right? And by the way, this is the profile. You can do all kinds of profile settings. And I'm just going to say, the network name, the SSID, Security System Identifier, is going to be the same exact thing. So I'll hit apply, right? And inside of here, this is where you can go through and set up all of your options. First off, is it enabled? Well, yes, I would like it to be enabled. Okay. What else do you want? What interface do you? Oh, there you go. Did that connect a dot for you right there? If not, let me explain. That's the interface that we just created. So if I were to say, I'm going to assign this to the client, parentheses 30, that's just the name I gave it. Anybody that joins this Network Ninja SSID will automatically get all their traffic tagged. Remember, we've got the CAP-WAP tunnel going from the wireless access point to the controller. Hits the controller's like, great, I'm going to tag you as you're coming out, going into the LAN switch as a member of VLAN 30. That's what that assignment would do. Now, I didn't set up, 802.1q tagged interface because I just wanted to do a basic config. So I'll just say, yep, management. I'm gonna put in the same management interface. And again, reminder, what is that? That's the untagged interface right here that I'm actually accessing. You can see it right here to control. It's like, hey, you might as well just use that for the SSID. So there's our Network Ninja. I'm going to go into security, and this is where we have the option to do a whole metric ton of stuff. So let me just give you the high level view. Two major forms of security in wireless. PSK, that's pre-shared key. That's what most people use in their houses and small businesses, right? That's where you're like, okay, you probably have it, right? The secret code to my wireless network is 5 1s, 5 5s, right? So type that in, and you type in all your devices, right? Well, that's great for your house because you're not going to fire yourself, right? But in a business, all the employees have that, and that guy had to leave, because he was doing some shady stuff, right? That means you have to change the wireless key everywhere in the network. So pre-shared key does not work in business environments. You use a radius server, or 802.1x is technically the term. What that is actually, let me draw it for you for just a quick sec. What that is you've got, so here's all your wireless access points. They're all reporting for duty into the controller, right? Here's the giant C. And the controller itself is reporting for duty to a radius server. Now when I say reporting for duty, let me just say the radius server is going to be the one that handles the authentication requests. So here's how it works. You have a client device, let's just say a smartphone, right? is like, I would like to join that wireless network. It pops in here and goes, oh, this is an 802. Oh, hey, look at that. 802.1x enabled wireless network. The controller then goes, oh, okay, I'm just going to pass you to the radius server. Now, what is the radius server? Well, very often it is an Active Directory domain controller that is going to pop up and say, okay, enter your username and password. And this person gets a little prompt on their smartphone. Hey, what's your username and password? What it's looking for is their Active Directory credentials, which is what their computer uses to log into the domain on site or something like that. And again, once you open this, it's like, it's the can of pork and beans, right? There's like 5,000 beans in there. There's so many different options. Beans in the world. You can have Linux servers, you can have certificate servers, you can have all kinds of stuff. As soon as you get that authentication off the controller onto another server, the sky's the limit, right? So know that radius servers is what you use, and I'll show you where you configure those in just a second. But for now, I'm going to go in here. And I'm going to say, we're going to use, so these are all of our different options. Heaven help you if you use WEP. That's so old. Most devices don't even support that anymore. So we're going to use WPA2. And we'll say, for the authentication management, look at this. We're going to use PSK. Come on, pop quiz. What does that stand for? You got a pre-shared key. So we'll say 5 1s, 5 5s. 5 5s. There we go, right? I'll click on apply. It says, hey, this is going to disrupt. You're redoing some stuff right there. And boom. We now have, as a matter of fact, hey, check it out. I'm going to open up my smartphone right here. Let's go to, this is where I need one of those screen share things, right? So I'm scared. I'm like, here's my credit card number, right? So right here, can you see this? So I've got Wi-Fi right there. Oh man, this is going to be fun. So right there, it's coming up. Look at that. Right there, down at the bottom. So you can see my networks right here. C Home, I'm actually on C Home 5. That's my 5 gigahertz band. But you see that at the bottom? Oh, Network Ninja, as well as The Network. That's the one that we walked through. Available to join if we go, hey, let me join Network Ninja. What's your passcode? I'll come up here, 5 1s, 5 5. Join. Ta-da! I have joined the Network Ninja. So, Back to the controller. Oh, but wait, I can't just go back. Hey, look at Network Ninja, join. I'll go to a little thing. It's like, ta-da, you've received a 10.16. Well, check out that. Get a little donut going on there. 10.16.0.127 from the DHCP server. Oh, that's so good. So, wait a second. Can I see that in the controller? Uh-huh. Let's head on over here to the monitor, and right there's our clients, and there I am. I am the client who is attached using the protocol 802.1 or 802.11a/n, joined to the Network Ninja. This is so great. I mean, think about that. We have, in a matter of seconds, we've got 2 wireless access points, glowing blue. There's a blue glow. Hey, I just need you to be there with me. Look at this. It's glowing blue. That's how I know it's configured. It's working. Deploying SSIDs, people are able to attach and join our wireless networks. And I mean, it took what? I mean, if I wasn't talking so much and eating pumpkin cookies, it would take us, a matter of minutes to get this whole thing up and running using a controller. That's the power that you have with the controller. So we can get in here. We can go. This, by the way, I said I was gonna show you where you would configure your radius server. So if you did have radius servers set up, this is where you would go in and say, I want to create a new radius server. My Active Directory domain controller is, let's just say 10.16.0.100, and there's a pre-shared key that I would set up between my, so you don't just want anybody to be able to pull up a controller like, hey, I'll use that server and authenticate against it. So I'd say, okay, I've got my pre-shared key that I'll type in here. You have to type it in on the controller, have to type it in over in the server, and then boom, they will link up. This is a standard radius port number. And as you go through and start saying, okay, I'm going to assign my wireless networks, I'm going to say the Network Ninja, the security is no longer going to be that. It's going to be 802.1x. And I'm going to go through and assign it to the AAA server of, bam, the one that I just created. And this will be the one that it authenticates against when somebody tries to connect to this network. So I know. I'm dumping so much on you because this is just meant to be a basic overview of wireless LANs. But once you get in the groove and just start moving with this, I mean, you can accomplish such amazing things. So last thing I'm going to mention is the quality of service, right? In the quality of service world, you have really simple quality of service settings for the wireless. This is not only quality over the air, that is, I can have some SSIDs prioritized over other. Like for instance, I might have a BYOD or public SSID, right? And I have my corporate SSID, and I want that stuff to get the priority. So you can go in and you can set your quality of service to say, you know what, ooh, this one's gold, you know, and the BYOD ends up with a bronze, and so it will automatically use settings. And this is where I'm just going to be like, those settings of quality of service where it's using different tags and priority levels as it comes out of the controller, so that you can categorize it so your internal, more priority traffic wins when there's competition in bandwidth and radio frequency or on the LAN over all of the public BYOD devices. So much more that we could talk about, but at this point, I just want to give you the feel, and I hope you got that, is I'm not going in depth because there's, like I said, thousands of options. I just want you to have the feel of this wireless LAN controller so you can be like, okay, I get it, and now I can get into it, right? Cool. That is the base level wireless LAN controller configuration. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.